guys, Dirk here from Chef Zero to Hero. I hope everyone is well and as always ready to get your cook on. Because today I've got a beautiful, very simple, easy dish using one of my favorite proteins. This right here. There we go. Lamb. Actually, lamb backstrap. So I love cooking with lamb. You can make so many great dishes using this protein, and the backstrap is very lean, very tender, and when cooked properly, absolutely delicious. So I'm going to be showing you a very simple dish using the lamb, and we're going to do a fennel puree and then a beautiful lamb sauce like jus over the top. Not difficult to make, but just tastes absolutely amazing. And then we're going to pair that off with one of these. So this is a gin fizz cocktail. Again, very simple to put together and goes really great with this dish. Alright, so let's get started. Okay guys, so to make this dish we are going to need a few ingredients, what I've got laid out here, and as always I will put all of this into the description of this video so you guys can see exactly what we need. But essentially the first thing we need is lamb backstrap. That's the hero of the dish. We are also going to need 3 or 4 lamb bones, or about half a kilo, and that's for the lamb jus, and that's very important. Apart from that, we're going to need some white wine and some brandy, and not just for drinking, but actually for the cooking. We're also going to need beef stock, some milk, heavy cream and butter. We're going to need our fennel and parsnip. We're going to need 1 pear, few garlic cloves, some celery, spring onion, carrots and sprigs of thyme, and then finally some olive oil and salt and pepper for seasoning. And that's it. I know it's a lot of ingredients, but it all comes together very quickly. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is get our lamb jus going. So all we're going to do is place our lamb bones into a baking tray. And we're going to put this into the oven at 220 degrees Celsius, which is about, I think, 430 Fahrenheit. And we're going to cook this for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we're then going to reduce the heat down to 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, so while our lamb bones are in the oven, we're going to get started on the fennel puree. And all I've done here is roughly chop the fennel. We've got about 8 cubes of butter, our milk, heavy cream, and the sprigs of thyme. Okay, so all I've done here is combined all those ingredients into a saucepan. And we're going to put this on a medium to high heat, and we're just going to allow this to cook through until the fennel becomes really nice and soft. That should take about 8 to 10 minutes, but just keep an eye on it, and yeah, once the fennel really becomes cooked through and soft, that will be perfect. Okay, so it's just been a little over 5 minutes and all these ingredients are coming together really nicely. The fennel is getting really nice and soft, and it just smells amazing. Now, it's very important, guys, to always taste your dish as you go along. That way you know if the ingredients are really combining well together, or if you need to add anything else. So this tastes amazing, but I'm gonna add some salt and pepper for seasoning, just to add a little bit more flavour to the fennel. Okay, so the fennel is looking really good, and all I've done is put this to the side and put a lid on the saucepan, and we'll come back to this very shortly. In the meantime, we're going to get started on the next part of the lamb jus. So all I've done is put our medium fry pan with a little bit of oil onto a medium-high heat. We've added the carrots. Now we're just going to add the spring onion and celery. And then we're just going to keep this on a very low heat and just let this saute through for about 1.5 minutes. Okay, wow, this already smells so amazing. Alright, so all I've done now is taken our amazing lamb bones out of the oven, and we're just going to take one of those bones and put that into the fry pan and let that sit there for about another minute, just so that it absorbs the carrots, the spring onion and the celery. Alright, so after a minute, we're going to get started on a really fun part of the dish, and that's doing the flambe. So all we're going to do is add a good amount of brandy to the fry pan, and then we're going to bring this up to a very high heat. Okay, so when the fry pan does come up to temperature, it will catch fire, so please be very careful not to burn yourself. It only takes about 30 seconds for the alcohol to burn off, and then we are left with the most amazing, deep, rich flavor for the jus. So just like that, just be very careful. Like I said, about 30 seconds and this will burn off. Okay guys, so after 30 seconds you can see that most of the alcohol has now burnt off, and just wow, I wish you guys could smell this because it just smells incredible. And that is it. So all we're going to do now is just keep this on a very, very low heat, and then move on to the next step of the dish. So all we're going to do now is add a touch of white wine to the pan. Bring this back up to a medium to high heat and allow this to cook for about 2 minutes. Okay, so all we're going to do now is add a little bit of butter to the pan and our beef stock. Keep this on a medium to high heat. Mix this through and allow it to cook for about another 2 minutes. Okay, so all I've done now is added the rest of the lamb bones to the pan. We're going to keep this on a medium heat and just allow all those flavors to combine and work together. And we're just going to let this cook through for about another 2 minutes. So guys, I've just taken the bones out of the pan, and all we're going to do now is put these amazing ingredients through a sieve so we can catch all of that incredible lamb jus sauce. So now that the lamb jus is done, all we're going to do is finish up the fennel puree. So I've just brought this back up to the heat, and we're just going to work the fennel through a sieve, just like we did with the jus. Okay, so the next step, all we're going to do is blend the fennel, some butter, and that amazing liquid that we got from the fennel when we put it through the sieve. Now guys, I'm using a stick blender, but you can use whatever you have, that's fine. The main thing is we're going to turn this into a puree, so it needs to have no lumps and just be really, really smooth and have a nice consistency. So just very gently with my stick blender, I'm going to start pureeing this, and then we're going to add the butter and the liquid as well. Alright, so I've added the butter, and now I'm just adding some of the liquid to the canister, and then we're just going to keep blending this until it becomes that nice, deep, rich puree that we're looking for. Okay guys, so once the fennel puree is done, we're just going to keep that to the side, and we're going to get started on our parsnip chips. Now when it comes to the parsnip chips, you can do this a couple of ways. You can use a vegetable peeler and just take off some, strips, nice long strips just like this, or you can use a slicer and get a more rounded sort of chip. It really just depends on what you want to do for presentation. I'm going to do both and then see which one I like better. But yeah, just start taking off around, we want around about 10 slices. So all I've done here is put some vegetable oil into a saucepan on a high heat, so that we can cook our parsnip strips. So once the oil is very, very hot, we're just going to start adding our parsnip strips to the saucepan, just like this. And as you can see, they're already starting to fry. Now guys, this literally only takes about a minute because they're very thin. So as soon as they start to get a golden brown color, we're going to take them out and then just drain them on some paper towels to get all that excess oil out of it. So just like this, and you can already see they're starting to change color. Beautiful. So the next step is to start cooking up beautiful lamb backstrap. Wow, looks so good. So we've got the lamb, some butter, some thyme, and 1 clove of garlic. And all we're going to do now is just season this with some salt and pepper. Okay, so all I've done now is put a fry pan onto a medium-high heat with a little bit of oil, and as you can see, it's really starting to smoke. And all we're going to do is kind of sear a beautiful lamb backstrap. So 1 minute each side. That's all it needs, and then it's going to go into the oven. Now when we flip this over, we're going to put the butter, the thyme, and that garlic clove into the fry pan and just let that cook for another minute just before we put it into the oven. Okay, so I've just flip the lamb over after 1 minute, and guys, it just looks and smells amazing. So all we're going to do now is just add the butter, the garlic clove, and the thyme to the pan and let this cook through for 1 more minute. And then we're going to put this into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 4 minutes, and that's it. Okay, so it's just been a little over 4 minutes, and I've taken the pan out of the oven, and just wow, so good. The lamb is cooked perfectly. Now guys, please be very careful because the pan is going to be extremely hot, so use an oven mitt or a cloth or something, but don't just grab the handle with your bare hands because you will burn yourself. And all we're going to do now is just baste this through and then set this aside for about 3 to 4 minutes. And then we're ready to plate up. Alright guys, so when it comes to plating, all I've done is put that amazing lamb jus into a little pouring cup. That way I can add it to the dish as I'm eating the lamb. I've cut the lamb into 4 even slices. Make sure you don't cut it too thin, otherwise it will go cold very quickly. I've just put the parsnip chips on top of the lamb, and then finally just spread that amazing fennel puree on the side of the dish. And that's it. That is plated up and ready to be eaten. Alright, so when it comes to making the gin fizz cocktail, it's very simple. I'm going to start with a highball glass with some ice, 2 slices of lemon and 2 slices of lime, our gin, obviously, elderflower cordial, which gives a really nice sweetness to the drink, and then finally some tonic water. So all we're going to do is add 1 slice of lemon and 1 slice of lime, and then the first thing we're going to do is add the elderflower cordial, and just about 1/4 of the glass. That's it. Like I said, just gives a really nice sweetness to the drink. Then we're going to add our gin. Make sure you use a nice high quality gin. Yeah, and then kind of fill that up to about halfway. And then finally, our tonic water. And we're just going to top up the glass with the tonic water. And that's basically it. Just going to add the other slice of lime and the other slice of lemon. And then just give this a little bit of a shake, and that is good to go. So guys, that was the entire dish, and all we're going to do now is just give this a taste and see how we did. Wow, this smells amazing. Alright, so I'll take some of the lamb, fennel puree, Okay, that is so good. Okay, that lamb is cooked perfect. And that combination with the fennel puree and the jus just works so well. Wow. So good. Now, our parsnip chips. Okay, that's amazing. All the combination of flavors really work together. So the lamb just been cooked for 4 minutes in the oven and 1 minute seared each side in the pan. It's perfect. That fennel puree is amazing. The lamb jus, which took a little bit of time to make, but definitely worth the effort. And the parsnip chips. That is a great dish. Alright guys, so if you did like this, please like, share and subscribe. And I will be back very shortly with a new dish for you guys.